Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving in and taking a look at the official full release of Wartales that has just come out of early access over roughly, I think, 2 and a bit years. This is a game I absolutely adore. I've played it an absolute ton in early access and I'm excited to dive back in for the 1.0 release. To celebrate that fact as well, Shiro Games have been kind enough to sponsor this video, so be sure to check out Wartales. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. But what is Wartales? For those of you who have maybe never played or heard of this game, 1, where have you been? And 2, it is a game where you start off as a lowly mercenary company with 4 different characters, all with their unique abilities and actions that they can take. From that point, you proceed through certain regions, each with a unique and diverse biome, completing different quests and stories, exploring tombs, taking care of plagues, and all the time amassing fame, wealth, and of course, finally, power. One of the really unique things about this game is that it also has a 4-person multiplayer as well. So if you're unlike me and actually have friends to play this with, it is the perfect game to dive in and build a mighty mercenary company. So let's do it. Let's dive into the brand new official release patch. I'm excited for this because they have changed an absolute ton of features since the last time I played. They also added in a brand new snowy region as well. Many of the regions that you will visit have diversely different units to encounter. One of them, for example, they added a little while ago, added in a whole wealth of new animals that you can tame. So you can actually have like bear companions going in and just wrecking havoc. I mean, do I need to say more? But when you start the beginning of your first game, this is what you're going to be greeted with. And this is basically kind of the way that you can set up your beginning companion. So maybe last time you go for a full melee build and this time you want something a little bit different. You can do that, and each of these builds come with a little bit of an interesting starting position. However, they don't dramatically affect you and you can kind of divert into the system that you want to. This is kind of almost just like a beginner's help. And on top of that is also like a little bit of backstory, which is kind of cool. You kind of play by that. One I definitely recommend doing for new players if you're looking to get into this game is the young farmers looking for a better life. This happiness is quite easily solved. The extra food is really nice, and each of these characters is a super efficient way of playing the game. The brute can be your tank, the spearmen and archers allow you to do damage from a distance, which is just a really nice way of staying alive, and then you'll pick up a couple tanks as you progress through the game and be absolutely fine. Another great one also is the men escorting merchants. You start off with more money, which is good. You miss out on some medicine, but you also get a very strong starting set of companions, so they're kind of the 2 I recommend for new players. However, all of them do work if you want to utilize them. And I think the one we're going to mess around with is the deserters fleeing an abusive captain. We start off with a pretty good setup, so we start off with a swordsman, warrior, archer, and ranger. We do begin with a little bit of crime rating, but that can be moved away quite easily, and we also start off with 10 more repair materials, which is super nice. Next, we get to choose a bonus to our party. Some mean that you reduce the fatigue buildup, which is actually super strong, as that means that you have to camp. So you basically have to camp less, which means you have to eat less, and that just saves you money in the long run. Stuff like being able to fight and level up that a little bit faster, having more HP, having more damage, or even reducing the recruitment cost. I'm going to go with a reduction in troop fatigue. I think that's just beyond valuable to have. And then we also have to choose a floor. 2 I definitely recommend picking for your first game is either the meek appearance, so not being able to carry as much. This doesn't really cause you too much problem, as normally you'll be able to carry enough of what you need anyway. Another really good one as well is being able to have a reduction in happiness as well. That's not really too bad, I don't think. Or having this one. I think this is probably the one you should pick, a relatively relative sense of loyalty, which means companions will leave if they're unhappy, but it is kind of hard to have that happen, and you can normally get around it in an effective way. Next, we also get to pick the difficulty level, so we can do adaptive exploration, which is basically the entire world will change depending on what level we are, or we can have region-specific locks. So as you progress through the game and go to different regions, some will be way more difficult than others. I personally really love this regional lock exploration because it kind of means I have to spend enough time in a certain area before moving on, and the game does get more progressively harder as I go to each of these regions, which I think is a really fun system. And then finally we get to choose difficulty. We're going to go expert, and we're going to go for free saving mode. You'll also be able to change your starting region as well as you progress through the game, but because this is a new patch, I don't have all of my ones unlocked, unfortunately. But say, for example, you went to many of the other regions and completed them, then you would actually be able to start in them regions, which I think is, again, a really cool system. And then we get to go and decide our companion. So this is a really cool system. I very much like it. You can change up some of their starting weapons. I definitely recommend going two-handed swordsman. You can change their names. You can give them traits and also negative traits as well. So there's some really kind of good min-max if you want to do that. We can also change up their secondary trait as well. So we're going to pick the Wrath on this guy. It allows them to do extra damage. We'll make sure on our swordsman. I mean, the extra damage on the swordsman isn't a bad idea as well. On our archer, we're going to give her first aid. I think it's really important to have a couple first aids on your team. That's how you'll get people up when they're wounded. And then on our warrior, we're going to go and make sure we give him first aid as well. And don't forget, you also have a pony. So for our pony, we're going to make sure that we pick strong. No, stocky, because stocky allows us to carry more. And this basically removes the negative trait, the weight trait that we could have chosen in the previous one. You can also name these as well. So for example, I could call this one Swedish Crusader, and we can't go quite that far, but he'll get the picture, and then he'll be with us forever. And here we go. Enough is enough. After bearing that horrible captain's abuse for far too long, your companions can finally enjoy their well-deserved freedom. However, although deserters are never a welcome sight, be it for their former colleagues or the locals who regard them as traitors, for some reason, they'll need to keep their heads down while still making a living. That seems easy enough. So as you can see, the campaign map does look really good, and especially as you're moving around the campaign map, you'll be able to see some pretty beautiful sights, especially in the other biomes as well. Like the new ice one is just really cool. On top of that, you can also see all your companions up here in the left hand side. So for example, if I click on our swordsman, from this point on, I can take a look at some of his upgrades, his attributes, which we'll be able to upgrade when he levels up. We can decide his classes, so we can diversify him as we progress, and they'll give us extra abilities, other stuff that will give me more valor or give him certain bonuses as he progresses through the game. We can also go ahead and choose a profession for him as well. These will give additional bonuses and allow him to perform certain actions in the camp. In the bottom right hand side, you can also see our inventory, so some raw materials for repairing. You can also see us picking stuff up on the ground. We're going to get into this fight pretty quickly as they charge into us. Hopefully I can grab this iron ore before they do. No, unfortunately, they do catch me. But we'll dive into our first battle and see what combat is all about. So here we go. The combat is a tactical turn-based combat system, kind of similar to stuff like Fire Emblem and XCOM. However, unlike XCOM, you do actually hit 100% of the time, but your damage may vary depending on certain factors. Down here in the bottom left-hand side, you can see this is kind of a unique feature as well, the turn order. However, my characters don't have to specifically go at any time. These blue symbols in the bottom left just mean that it is my go, and I can pick anybody who hasn't gone this turn to actually take their move. This means you can create some really unique scenarios and do some pretty cool stuff with it. You also get to choose before you take your first move where you're putting people as well, which again, I really like. The AI, however, is locked into their system, so they are going to be going in this load order no matter what. So let's start off. We're going to take our tank with a shield, and we're going to move him in, and we're going to engage this archer. Once we have started to hit someone's head on, you'll be able to see this arrow appear under them, and this means they are locked in. They can't run away without taking the opportunity of attack, so I basically get to attack them for free. And this is a really nice way of locking down very important characters, like, for example, the poacher, who now can't use his bow because he's in melee combat with me. I will then end my go and move on to my next character. I think the next one we can do is we can set up this character, so this is going to be our swordsman, and we can use one of his abilities. Rather than just a normal attack, he gets this really cool cleave ability, which allows him to hit multiple people in one go. I don't think, these guys are just a little bit too far away to AoE them, but that's fine. We're going to probably head over here, and we're going to hit this hoodlum and do some good damage to him. You may also notice as well, when we hit damage to them, their actual health doesn't go down. It just affects their armor, which is this top bar. You have to basically break through this before you start doing some serious damage to them. And this will be reflected in the end game battle screen, because you'll have to repair any armor damage you take with tools, and then your health damage will have to be repaired with medicines. And that can also also be related to stuff like injuries, which can severely affect how your character moves on the battlefield, how much damage they do. So ideally, you never want to get into that danger zone of actually taking HP damage. So right here, you can see that because this hoodlum is locked into combat with Berius, my swordsman, this guy can now move out and not have to worry about taking an opportunity of attack. However, I'm going to leave him here because I want to try and get a surround on this hoodlum and do more damage to him. We also have our final character right here, which can come in and we can get a nice little shot here with our archer. Unfortunately, not kill him, but he'll be going down very soon. So yeah, he does get a nice little hit off. The enemy character does also apply a status effect to me. So whenever I use this character, we right click on him, you'll see I have now got a tick of poison. So every time I take a hit, I'll be taking 5% of my HP as damage. This relates to just one, luckily, at the moment, but you can stack this multiple times, and the more he attacks me, the more it builds up. So it can be really dangerous. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and finish off this character. Is there anybody we could try and do? Okay, this is a good example. So we could utilize one of our special abilities right here, the Wrath ability. So because he's below 50% HP, I can do an additional 3 to 4 damage to him at the cost of one of these Valor points. In the beginning of the game, you'll only get these by camping and restoring them. However, as you level up your characters, you'll find unique and interesting ways to build more of these to basically just kind of do these epic battle moves. So let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to strike him. You can see as well, because I'm locked in combat, I can't rotate this anymore. This is an AoE attack, and if my friendlies were here, I'd be doing damage to them. But let's hit him with that, and then let's use our Wrath ability to finish him off, as it doesn't stack as our attack. And boom, just like that, we've tackled him down. And because the enemy morale is dropping, we now get Fury, which is extra damage on our moves. I'm now going to take my time and come all the way over here. I'm going to end my go, and you can see we're going to take poison, which again is a really interesting thing about this game, because if for example, some character is going to die next turn, you can try and wait until to use him last so he doesn't take that damage when you end his go from his status effects like poison or bleeding or whatever it is, and try and win the battle so that he doesn't end up dying because you end the battle before he takes his go and takes that damage. So it's like a really unique turn system, and it can get really complex. So now let's take our ranger. Did we take our ranger? No, he gets to attack us no matter what. So let's just hit with this. We'll destroy his armor, which is really good. And I'll go there. The ranger will be able to hit me, but because he's punching me, he can't use his bow. It's no damage. And now we'll have some fun. So I'm going to bring my character over here, and you can see he's surrounded. So because he's surrounded, he takes 20% more damage, plus our fury, which is 50% more damage. And boom, just like that, we do incredible amounts of damage. After that, we have now also got some money, some loot, and also an extra dagger, which could be pretty good for our ranger. He currently just has a rusty shiv, which gives him the stab ability. We equip him with this, and it will give us an extra dexterity and also change up my base attacks. Now we have poison. You can see if I was to re-equip that rusty shiv, it is just a stab ability. So weapons come with different like normal abilities, attack abilities, which again can create some pretty unique combos. I'm also going to give everybody a profession because there's just no reason not to. It doesn't really matter at this point, and you'll unlock plenty more as you progress through the game. Speaking of which, we also have a brand new upgrade for our character. So every upgrade, we get a roll when it comes to our attributes. We can get a 1 tick in 2 of them, so an increase in 1% or 1 skill, and then also a double. Unfortunately, we didn't roll strength, which kind of sucks. However, we are going to probably grab willpower. Willpower is really useful. If you get to 15, then you basically survive your killing blow. If someone was about to kill you, you survive for an extra turn, which can come in absolutely clutch. Also, it's a double upgrade, so it makes sense to grab that one, and we'll try our best to work towards 15. There's other weapons and equipment that can boost that as well. We also unlocked a specialization, so we can choose between Swordmaster, Fighter, and Protector. Protector is, of course, tank, and it gives you more defensive abilities. Fighter is a way to destabilize your opponent, which reduces their guard, and that can be amazing because guard is basically tank's damage reduction, and you can remove stuff like 30-40% damage reduction right off the bat with this ability at the cost of 1 valor. Or we could choose Swordsman, and that's what I'm going to go for because this is a lacerate, and the weapon is absolutely insane. If I can perform 2 AoE attacks, so basically 2 attacks that hit 2 people, I can then use this laceration, which allows me to do 6 damage to all enemies in range 2 times. Like, that's insane. That's so much damage in the early game if you have the Valor points to spend, and that's what I'm going to be saving my Valor points for. So we're going to grab that, and we're also going to repair a few of our armors were broken, but luckily, because of our start, we have more raw materials. Also, you can eat human remains if you want to, which is pretty funny. So let's grab this iron ore. You'll be using that for stuff like crafting. The game has a really in-depth crafting system, and instead of heading north like you might want to do, because as you can see, there is a little bit of a town up there, and that's where you're going to be getting your missions and your quests. We're actually going to head down south and go to this mine immediately. I recommend you do this for several reasons, which we'll get onto when we get there. So here we go. We have a salt mine right here. So by going in here, we'll be able to talk to this guy, and there are loads of these little encounters scattered throughout the world. When you actually go to the map, which we can take a look at in a little bit, you'll be able to see the amount that's actually scattered around. Many of these will offer you different bonuses, quests, interesting things to get along with. So definitely do take your time exploring, and yeah, you definitely will not be unsatisfied. So here we go. The foreman has said, "Stop right there. This is a salt mine belonging to her ladyship. I can't just let you walk in." And we get some choices depending on how we want to play the game. We can pay him 40 gold to let us in. We can threaten him, which would increase our suspicion level and boost us up to the first level of wanted, which is probably something we want to avoid, or we can persuade him. We're going to persuade him. We have enough influence. This resource is used for like recruiting new companions, which is really good. But for now, we're going to go and just click persuade and convince him to let us in. As you wish. We can't mine the soul because of those 2 iron veins. Anyway, I really don't understand why you're just so keen to go in there. Well, I'll tell you so why. Because I can mine the iron. So right here, we've just unlocked a new profession. And you unlock these professions as you do continue to progress through the game. This gives constitution for a miner. So you're going to want to utilize this on a tank. So by clicking this and boosting up his stats, you can now see he gains extra HP. If I get rid of that, for example, 18 HP. If he's a miner, it goes up to 22. And these level up as well. You can start off as a novice miner, and when you continue to progress through the ranks, gaining more attributes and other stats. So it is really important to, you know, actually kind of pick someone to take that role and just run with it. But for now, we're going to utilize him as our miner, and we're going to go in and we're going to, yeah, definitely start mining this resource. So you have a little mini game to play. Each of the different jobs have their own little mini games. This one's just make sure you click within the circle. It can get a little bit difficult, but for the most part, it's quite easy. We gain some experience, we clear that up, and then we can also do the other one. But one of the main reasons why you do this early on is because you gain a ton of iron ore, which you can then refine to gain stuff later on. It also gives you another resource of exploration, which again, we'll get onto when we arrive there. And boom, just like that, we've cleared that. You can also steal as well, which I'm going to do. So by doing this, we unlock the thief ability, which is really useful, and we want to stick that on our ranger. Our ranger wants to be the thief because he gains dexterity, and dexterity is damage and crit hit. And we're going to steal this. It's going to give him some experience. There's nothing really that negative from stealing. Like, you don't annoy anyone. You just get a certain amount of suspicion. I'm hoping we're not going to roll the higher end of this and get the 60. So let's see how much we do. Will be wanted. And we rolled 58. Wow, that's so unlucky. But it is what it is. So now we just have to make sure that we avoid as many guards as we can. This salt is going to be useful in the long run. But yeah, there's no like negative effects. No one really notices that you do it. It's just all tied to the suspicion meter. And there you go. Because we cleared the iron, we gain our influence back, which is one of the reasons why I did that. And now we can just head out. We do need to be very careful, though, because we do have this suspicion. So we're going to have to make sure that we avoid any guards we see coming our way. Okay, we need to be a little bit careful. This party is chasing me down, but luckily this is just something that we can avoid. And by reading this, I'm not going to read it because we've already done it a few times, but we're basically our first little glimpse at kind of what's going on in this area. And this is something I actually haven't spoken about yet either, is every single region in the game has this little progress bar. You can see in the top left, it's 0 out of 100. No, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Oh my god, they're going to catch me. This is so bad. Why did I do this? I'm so sorry. And they actually caught me. I was too busy explaining the game. God damn it. Okay, they're annoyed. I can pay them some money. I could return them or I could fight them. We want to pay them money, right? Stolen items and then the theft. Okay, pay them 40 gold. Do we get to keep our stolen items? Okay, we paid them. That's a lot of our money, though. A lot of our money. Oh, God. And as the game progresses and as you get more wanted, more negative things fire from that as well. Just FYI. So the higher your level, the more crazy stuff that comes. I've had situations where I've had to give up companions to take the fall for me, basically, and be set in prison. But as I was saying, this bar fills up the more quests that you do in a certain region, and it basically leads to a long story, and each region has a unique one, so you can really just explore the actual story of what's happening. Or if you want to, you can completely ignore that and go and do your own thing, which is a system I really like. I recommend doing the main story, though, as much as possible. We also have just acquired ourselves our first knowledge point right here, and this is done by exploring new areas, winning fights, unlocking new materials, and just generally playing the game. Every time you unlock a knowledge point, you'll be able to take a look at new things, and to unlock these new things, you'll need to take on previous things or find them out in the world or unlock other stuff. Again, I don't actually know any of these other ones right now because I haven't unlocked the jobs I believe it's tied to. But what we're going to do, there are plenty you can pick from. So, for example, you can start devouring humans if you want to, which is actually quite useful because food is an expensive cost in this game. And if you can just eat the people that you kill, then, hey, nobody really cares. There's other stuff like being able to repair more efficiently or eating less food, for example, or even boosting up your bonuses at the cost of influence whenever you upgrade a character. I, however, are going to take the best skill in the game, and that is the run ability. This allows you to basically sprint for a short period of time, and you can see just how valuable it is, because I could have basically just run away from that private group that was charging me down just now, the town guards. So now we have arrived at our first town, and there are several things here that we can mess around with. We have the forge right here, which is one of the reasons why we actually did pick up the previous iron ore back in that salt mine, as it will allow us to not only grab a blacksmith, which we can use again. If we take a look at that roll, we can see that the blacksmith gives us a strength, so we're going to want to put that on someone like our swordsman, our damage dealer, who does more physical damage. But now we can actually go here and we can go and start building stuff. So as you can see, we can build some throwing sickles, some hatchets. We can build we can't quite build a shield yet, and we can't quite build better armor. But yeah, you can build some pretty cool stuff here, which is really useful. Actually, we need a bunch of leather to do a lot of this stuff. And then now that we've done that, I believe we can also now take a look at some of the upgrades as well. So as you can see, we can actually upgrade and buy some better stuff. Not only that, we also have the tavern, and this is where we're going to be getting a lot of our missions and also recruiting new companions. So if we take a look, we can actually see that there are new companions here if we want them. Unfortunately, we don't have enough influence right now, but we could pick up a new companion. Some are cheaper than others. Others have different bonuses, and they're all useful to take a look at. This is where we're going to be grabbing some missions. So if we take a look at them, you generally want to be picking missions that are in the same area, so you can do a bunch of them and return. We've got quite lucky. We can take this one, which is easy, which is going to be about our style, and then we also have this one. Over here, you can also see the direction. So again, both this mission and this mission are off into the east, so generally they're going to be closer together. So we're going to grab both of them, and as you can see, they're literally right next to each other. We can accept up to 3 different missions, but I think we're just going to take the 2 for now. Finally, we're going to want to actually go to the market and take a look at what we have here, because we did steal that salt for a reason. So we're going to want to try and maybe pick up some extra food. Oh, salt's actually super cheap here as well, so we could buy some more. I think we're going to just grab the mutton for now. Yeah, we're going to grab all the mutton that they have available, and that's going to allow us to buy a bunch, or actually use a bunch of food here. I might also grab a couple bits of leather. Oh, that's all of our money as well. Okay, that's fine. We're going to buy 2 bits of leather. We're going to go all out here. Managing your supplies is a big part of the game as well, but this should allow me to actually build... Can I build targes? No, I need wood. Oh, I need 3 leather. Okay, I should have looked at that beforehand. But upgrading your armor early on is going to be very important, and then we're going to leave. We need to make sure when we actually have to pay our wages, rest before next wages is free. Is that like how long we have to rest before that? Oh, they've changed that. Okay, it used to be a time basis, but I guess now it no longer is. And okay, we're going to head off in the direction. You can see our missions are here. You can also see how many locations we've discovered, how many things that we've cleared. So we can discover a location, but maybe not clear it. And also the region scenario that is unique to every region. Okay, let's head out here. We're going to also grab the fishing job whilst we're over here. We're gonna add, if we want to utilize that, we actually have to build fish hooks and stuff, which will cost us stuff. But now we have the angler profession, and as you can see, this fatigue bar is about to hit rock bottom, and managing this is actually really important. So now you can see it's going up. The game is telling us we need to actually camp before we get exhausted, and you're gonna want to do this. If you fight a battle fatigued, you're gonna be in a really rough spot, and it makes sense. Like half the time, you're like, well, why don't you just camp before going into battle? A lot of times you can't just camp before going into battle. You run into some pretty tricky situations. So managing this is really important. And a lot of the time you don't want to camp, because every time you camp, you have to spend food. And food isn't cheap. Oh, you also have to make a fire now as well. Oh, that's interesting. So, oh, that's very interesting. So you can now actually... yeah, you use that to improve happiness. Okay, very interesting. You'd also have to pay your people if you needed to. But yeah, every time you camp, you have to feed the troops. And that adds up costs. You know, I have no money right now. Luckily, I don't have to pay my party for now. And on top of that, depending on where you camp, that also creates negative abilities. I should have also have put our Tinkerer on this as well. You can do stuff like this, which will, if they are the Tinkerer. Are you the Tinkerer? He's the Tinkerer. No, you're the Miner. Oh, you don't have a profession. So if we made you the Tinkerer, for example, I could then apply them to this, and this would give me some resources every time I camped, which is really important. I could also look at this and start building stuff, so I could build some lockpicks, which would be really good for this character, and we could utilize them lockpicks. We could also build some fishing hooks, so we could then fish, which is, again, really useful. And you can completely upgrade your tent. And every time you build one of these for the first time, you unlock knowledge points. So doing all of this is really important. Getting something like a cooking pot is great, because then you can get the cooking ability. I've definitely worked towards a cooking pot right away. Tent is really useful. All of these offer you really, really nice bonuses, so definitely do that. But with that upgrade, we can now take a look at this. So I think definitely we want to grab endurance training. This allows us to sprint that a little bit more. And then we can also take a look at upgrading. So again, for example, we can't look at, yeah, we need to actually build some stuff before we unlock any of these. Okay, that's fine. Saddlebags isn't that important. We could unlock a campfire or a workshop. Ooh. That'd be pretty good. I haven't actually seen this before. You can dismantle low-value weapons to obtain repairing stuff. Okay, that's pretty useful. I would say that's good. Also, maybe unlock... because we already have this stuff unlocked. Oh, okay, but it's just showing me what we need. Makes sense. Do we want to spend anything else? I don't think so right now. I mean, actually, better repairs isn't a bad idea as well. Or even career planner before it. Yeah, let's grab career planner, so then we can upgrade our troop that a little bit more effectively. And then let's dive back on to the main game and start heading our way over here. So as you can see, we sprint for a long way now, which is super nice. And here we go, our first little event. So this isn't anything to do with our missions right here. This is something completely separate. This is something to do with the main story. So let's have a little word with this guy. So here he goes. To think that we had to camp out here because of some pig-headed bandits. They will not stop at nothing to terrorize the yokels, but when it comes to facing the guards, that whole other matter. You see that cave to the north? He's holed up there. It's been 3 days and he still won't surrender. He knows he's done for, yet he continues to defend this lair with such doggedness that we have no choice but to starve him out. That's why I need mercenaries. He doesn't know you. He might even let you in if he thinks you can convince him to help him. And once you gain his trust, you can finish him off for us or make it worth your while. So right here, we can accept this quest, which is really nice. Also, I believe there is something here we can chop because we have a warrior. Right here, because we have a warrior, we can actually just chop wood and get it for free. So having like certain classes is actually kind of beneficial for you. I messed that one up, which is a bit awkward. But just doing this, we just get a bunch of wood, which is nice. It saves us some time discovering it on the campaign map or buying it. I'll take the 8 wood. Why not? You can also press Alt as well, and it will highlight things across the scene that you can interact with. For example, right there, you can see it's highlighted because I'm pressing Alt. So now let's leave the outpost and head up to the sinister cave and see what the bandit has to say for himself. Ah, mercenaries, did Fergus send you in here to help us? Ravon hired you to kill me. I beg of you, don't do this. We do not enjoy bullying the farmers, you know. We have no choice if we want to survive. Ravon is one of those who must die or match his offer. In fact, I can pay more, and I will be doing a great deed. once he is gone, the farmers of Tiltron will have no one to protect them. We won't have to force them to share their resources with us. Kill the captain. It's the only solution. So this is another thing I love about the game is you have choices to make. These choices do affect, how you support, how people react to you. So again, we could side with the guards or we could side with the bandits / refugees, as we'll get into that as the game does progress. I think this time we are going to side with the bandits. He said he would pay me more, so why not? Let's do it. And we'll accept that. Now we have to leave and we have to head back to the guards outpost. You can also see our mission over there as well. So now we need to talk to him and we have to say, on guard, my friend, attack, attack. And here we go, diving into a battle. There's currently 3 of them and 4 of us, so we do outnumber them. But as you can see, they have a fair amount more armor than us. They also have something called a leader ability, and this is basically whilst their leader is not engaged, you can see everybody has massive movement, so that is something we're going to have to deal with. He also has a legendary bow and armor, so that's pretty scary. Yeah, you can see really good armor, which we're going to have to, of course, deal with. The question is, can we get to him? So I'd love to engage him so that I wouldn't have to worry about him, but it doesn't look like I can. Oh, I can. Good. So yeah, by doing this, I'm going to engage him, and this means not only can he not use his amazing warbow against me, but they should all lose their special ability. They should, I hope. Next, I'm going to use my archer. Can he even get in range? I probably should have moved him further forward, but it's fine. He can't even get in range. That's fine. I kind of want this guy to make his move, so then we can maybe use Burris or someone else to do it. I kind of going into this battle a little bit more, I guess, foolish. Yeah, I should have probably have chosen a bit of a better attack plan, but here we are. So let's end that. Yeah, that's really good that the captain just hit me for 1, and then we can try and get in and cause some damage. So what would happen here is if I moved in here and attacked this guy, it would lock him into combat with my rogue, which I don't want to have that happen because he'll hit me hard and he'll do a lot of damage, and also the rogue does more damage if he hits from behind. So I'm actually going to really waste my first go and just come over here, I think, which is bad of me. But it is what it is. Okay, Burris takes that hit, which is, again, not good. This is going to be a bloody round. So this guy goes first again, which is fine. The heavy strike is annoying, but not the end of the world. And I can't make my way through here. Yeah, I've really misplayed this. Okay, we're going to go here then. Can I try and strike both of them? I can't. What if I go like here? I'm trying to hit both of them. No. Okay. I've really not done a good job here. So let's just set up here. Again, I would love to have got this guy around the side to hit both of them, but I've messed up. So now let's utilize this guy. We'll attack him from behind, and we just need to work on this guy. And you can see our new ability coming in clutch as well. The poison doing some serious damage. We'll end our turn. He's going to hit us. Only 3 damage, though. My guard, whilst I had armor, came in really well. You can see the guard. This guy has 27 guards right now. So that's a 27% damage reduction on me. It's amazing. Then, I guess, we've done these 2 characters, so might as well just start working down on the archer. And then finally, we have this guy. So I could go here and try and shoot this phalanx soldier just to help kill him back a little bit quicker. And I recommend that's how you play this game, is you focus down one person because it just removes an entire go from them. However, you also have a chance of hitting your own soldiers, and I'd have a pretty high chance of hitting one of my good soldiers over here if I do so. So I'm just going to go over here and just take a little shot, do barely any damage, but just guarantee some extra damage on this guy for now. Okay, the next round. So this guy goes next. He might go after my archer, but I wouldn't mind that because Forthard only has 19 health left, which isn't amazing. However, I really want to take care of this guy. Could you kill him? It'd be close, right? That does 8 damage. Let's do that. Brings you down to that. And we could also lacerations, or we could Wrath. Wrath wouldn't kill him, though. Oh, Wrath would kill him on his go, though. Yeah, when does he go? So, yeah, the Phalanx Soldier goes a long time away. I could do that, and it would take him down, but I'd probably just take him out with our Ranger. Yeah, we need help over here, forehand, for sure. So let's just do this. And that just clears him out, which is nice. And we can bring this guy around to help out with the surround. I'm just going to go here because next turn Burris can come in here if we're still left with a go and do some really good damage to both of these guys. Yeah, you'll see some serious stuff. If this guy doesn't move, then it's going to be a good turn. And again, just take the shot. Nice. Again, archers can be really strong and they get amazing like abilities like Overwatch and stuff like that. Definitely worth using. Okay, now... Oh, no! Okay. Chill. We can do this. I need to get out of the way. I need to attack this guy. Again, it locks me in combat. It's fine, whatever. We're kind of spreading the damage at this point. And then we take this guy. And now we can get in here. And we can do some really serious stuff. So check this out. Boom. Beer. And then, watch this. Boom. Look at that. My lord. Swordsmen are like so OP. And we also gain a Captain's Doubloon. It's light armor, so only certain characters can wear this. It's going to be on the rogue, but still, we'll take that. It's a low level, but it's really useful. Also, our rogue leveled up as well, which is good, which means, unfortunately, we can't specify him light armor until level 3. But this is going to be a really valuable way of gaining more valor. Valor is the skill we use just to do all the mobility, so being able to generate that is really important. And we have a couple options. We can choose this one, so whenever we're in combat, we gain a temporary valor for that turn. Or we could choose every time we get a kill with this character, we gain, again, a temporary valor. Or every time we end our turn next to somebody. We're going to choose this guy, but with every time we get a kill, we gain a valor. Unfortunately, we didn't, again, roll dexterity, which sucks. So I guess we just take willpower. It's a double skill. We could career planner the movement. So we could career plan this to a double star if we wanted to. Unfortunately, you can't go up to level 3. But I think I'm just going to hit the willpower. Being able to get that fury that little bit quicker in bigger battles is nice. And again, getting towards 15 willpower is kind of the goal. So we're going to do that. Does this armor give me any... And this armor gives me willpower and movement. It's so good. Nice. We're also going to repair our gear because we have another fight coming up. And we can also loot as well. So we can take that golden key and then go into the chest and see what it's got. We have a new shield and also some alcohol. Nice. I believe this is random as well every time, so you can get some pretty gnarly stuff. So first things first, let's give our tank this brand new shield. It's going to be a big upgrade to him. Extra guard and more armor, which is, yeah, really good. And look at that. You can see it visually change on the model, which is super nice. And then finally, we can also talk to this guy and collect our reward. So he says he owes us and we'll gain 100 gold, 25 influence, and also the fate of Tiltron will increase. The refugee no longer have to fear the captains. Again, this will all play into the final battle and stuff you do. So there is like a big event that happens right at the end. Cool. So now we've done that. I don't think there's anything to loot in the cave. Is there any loot in here? There's something we can lockpick, and we bought them lockpicks a little bit later on. So our thief can take a go at this, and you can obviously see how it works. We need to do this 2 times. Find the sweet spot. Boom, just like that. We actually leveled up. Nice. Reduces the amount of suspicion gained from all sources. Get a bunch of iron and also some stuff we can sell. Luxury items are mainly there for selling. We can press Alt to see if there's anything else, which it doesn't look like there is. Okay, cool. Then we can leave and we can progress on to actually do our story mission, which is right here. Let's dive in and engage them. Luckily, we've been able to repair our gear every single time. Not something we have to worry about too much. Oh, they also have a leader. Okay. Northgard the Green, again, in some really good attire. Wow. I think there's a percentage chance we actually get some of this, so we're going to want to try and grab it. And he has, so he's currently giving everybody 20% damage reduction. And you can see, they have good equipment. It's not, something too scary. Where the hell is our archer? Yeah, you always want to double check where your guys are, because you can run into some really awkward situations this early on in the game. So let's start off. Let's go over here. We want to engage their tank immediately. Granted, I could try and take care of his henchman because he's going to go first. Really, what I should have done actually is waited over here and then just use my archer, because I doubt this guy can actually reach anyone. Yeah, this guy would have wasted a turn because he wouldn't have been able to reach anybody. If you hover over this, you can see. But now that I've come closer, he's going to be able to get a free hit on me. So what I should have done is I should have looked at that. I should have just used my archer just to stand still and shoot. And now this guy wouldn't be able to do this. He would have wasted a turn moving. So on these higher difficulties, you're going to have to be a little bit worried about that. And you can see it actually freed up this guy as well, which is a little bit scary. However, he's now activated my trap card. Can I hit all 3? Oh, no. I can hit 2, though. I can hit 2 of these guys, which we're going to do. Oh, that's good damage. Pretty much breaking their armor. Once their armor is done, it reduces that damage reduction. Also, not engaging any of them, which is pretty big. So let's just hit this guy again. I can also step back. Oh, no, I can't quite step back yet. Okay, that's fine. Luckily, this guy... Oh, 9 damage! Oh, that guy is insane. And then finally, we have this guy. I don't really want to use him, though. But we're going to have to, and I'm going to have to engage this guy. But the sooner we kill him, the better, right? It saves our archer. Let's just do that. We'll poison him. He's yet to go, so he'll take a damage from the poison, which is pretty good. Oh, and it's one of these guys. Okay, so there are some weapons in the game that build up over time. So we need to kill this guy before he goes, because he'll do insane damage, because it's like a 2-turn ability. But it gives me the chance of running away. However, I engaged him like a moron because I didn't take a look at his weapon. So now I'm locked in here, so I can't escape him. If I disengage, he'll get to hit me. So the second best alternative is just to kill him, basically. So we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to hit him there. And again, I messed up because I'm once again a moron. I should have killed him with this guy because he is the Valorous Victory. So what I should have done is I should have not used this guy. I should have used this guy to do the damage. And again, I don't think I can grab all of them. No, just these two. I should have done this previously, so that this guy would have then been able to get the kill and then get the extra valor back, and then I could have used something like Wrath or something else along them lines. Now we can come in here. I'm actually going to sit right here in the hopes that he'll attack me rather than our tank, because I want our tank taking all the damage. But now it's pretty straightforward on how we approach this. We just shoot in, take down this guy, and then focus down onto the captain. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get a kill there. He's going to be focusing down my main character, but nothing too serious. So now what we want to do is come in here, and we want to get the kill, because now it gives us an extra valor point, which is nice. We want to come in here, get this... Is he not surrounded? Surely he must be surrounded. I guess not. Either way, we're attacking with this guy, and now he's surrounded because he's engaged. Perfect, so that gives us more damage. And then we want to finally take this guy, come away so we don't hit any of our own guys, take a little strike on him, go to the side. He's still surrounded. Bring this guy around so we don't hit our own units, and then take a shot. And we crit as well. Nice. And then next turn, we should be able to finish him off. I mean, our character is very close to being taken down. The next interesting thing to take into account as well is a valor point. So we're going to lose this valor point at the end of a battle. So what we should do is, first off, take a little shot. And then we can come over here and actually utilize that valor point to heal this guy. It's only 2 HP, but that adds up. It might prevent him from being wounded. And it's good to kind of keep that in mind. You might as well utilize that whilst you have it. We'll get the kill on him. And then finally, we will just chop him. And you get some really... This is actually the first kill animation we get. It's a little bit choppy. For some reason, the first time these play, they get a little bit choppy. And after that, they're absolutely fine. I guess it's just loading it for the first time. And oh! Nice! Oh, like, wow, that is good. That is really good. So this is on a brute, I believe. Wow, we'll loot all of that. Oh God, we're getting some... Do you just get, like, better equipment now? I guess. Let's heal up and actually heal, because this guy's now taken an injury, which means his constitution is halved, which is really bad for a tank, right? Really bad for a tank. Yeah, this guy can't use his weapon. We need to get a brute to use this one-handed mace. Super good. And then we're going to heal. And then our ranger is leveled up. Nice. So our ranger has the same upgrades. He also leveled up his dexterity, which is good. That's what his bow is based off. So we're going to grab a double point in that for more damage. And then we're going to grab valorous support. So whenever this character ends his turn next to someone, we just gain a valor, which is very good. Really, really good. So nice. So we've just completed that. We could head back home to collect that reward. However, we have another mission right here. And we have supplies. Like, I don't need food. We have money that we can pay people. And we also, we also aren't like damaged or anything. We have more supplies. Again, obviously, as you take on harder stuff, it's going to be more and more difficult to do this. But generally, you want to train a couple of them. And there they are, the bandits right there. Also, the refugee leader has caught wind of your actions and he wishes to meet me in the haven. So that's the main story progressing on. We did something, and now the refugee leader has taken kind of wind of what we've done, and he wants to also have a word. I'm going to try and ambush these guys. I'm not sure if it's going to work. No, it didn't quite. But yeah, let's take these guys on. Again, level 1 should be a fairly decent fight. We've already got a couple level 2s with us, so nothing too crazy. Oh, and this party's pretty interesting, actually. I really hope we get some of these weapons. I really, really do. Because, yeah, it seems like the AI is dropping some really good equipment. Okay, so they have 2 rogues. We definitely want to engage the rogues as quickly as possible. And they also get, this guy gets to go. Okay, so what we're going to want to do then is, these will both be able to hit me. But to do some pretty crazy stuff, right? Like just out. What about here? Okay, this is good. So what we want to do is I want to come in like here. I want to engage this guy. The reason we're engaging this guy is so he can't run off and go and hit someone important, basically, because they go right next. They go next. So we're doing that. This way he has to attack me from the front, doesn't do as much damage from the front, and we just lock down their high damage dealing characters. Next, we can bring this one over. I'm not sure where it will be. Can I like also, yeah, if I click that, you can also see, so yeah, you can see the little arrow comes up underneath them. So I can't get a double strike on either of these guys right now. So I'm actually going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to take a shot at this guy, the archer, and then I'm going to run up here. I'm going to generate that valor point because I'm next to someone. Remember, we've now got a valor point. Hell yeah. I can't get over here either. I don't really want to go with anybody. I just really want to get a double hit with this guy, but I guess it's just not going to happen. It's fine. We'll just focus down their leader. Oh, we're so close as well. But yeah, let's just take the one hit. It's fine. We'll make do. Damn it, that's an AoE damage ability as well, so we want to be very careful with that. And next where Archer goes, let's just focus down. Oh, we stepped over a bear trap as well and took damage. That's annoying. But this isn't a very tanky party, so we're going to be careful. Oh, that's a lot of damage as well. Something as well I didn't even mention on top of what I've been saying is also the battle sizes can get really big. Like, I don't think there's a limit to how many soldiers you can have as long as you can feed them and pay them. So you can end up having like really large scale battles. And I think some of the final battles in this scenario ends up being like 20 on 20 or like 15 on 22 or something. So the battles get pretty big and can take a while to actually finish up. Let's use our rogue. No, okay, let's do this. We'll damage them, which is going to be useful. This guy's going to hit me. And again, that poison is painful that they're applying. Then we're going to go boom. And then we're going to use our wrath, which is a valor point, to kill this guy. And then we gain a valor point back because we just took that person down. We're then going to come over here to again add the surround. And then we're going to strike this person. This person's already been, so their whirlwind ability won't affect us. Oh, they don't have whirlwind. Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, so that's good. We'll take the poison damage. We're going to bring our... I could have done this a little bit better. Brought the archer over to be next to someone so we gain another valor point. But I guess I didn't. So we want to... Yeah, we want to do that and then come in just so we can hit this guy. And then we want to make our way a little bit further back. Again, he's going to take a hit. It's going to be painful. What are you going to do, right? Like, it's going to hurt regardless. Oh, only 5 damage this time. He didn't crit. That's nice. And then we just make sure that we take this guy out quickly. Do that. We gain another valor point because we also have that big boost. It's good damage. Next, we have that our opponents have been broken now. We've killed enough of them that their morale is just dropped and they just want to flee. So this is a good decision. Say if we were on death's door, we had a character who was maybe going to die, we could let them flee. However, we give up extra loot and we give up extra experience. So I want to make sure that we, take this guy down because he'll give us extra stuff when we do. So we don't want to let them go. And then I guess we're going to run towards them in the hopes that they'll choose to attack this guy. Because, yeah, if he crits, he could definitely take down my damage dealer. He does. We do have to then pay for him to have his equipment done. That should be fine. So now we just run towards him. With everything we've got, we charge him down and fight him. Maybe the archer can... Yeah, the archer will be able to finish him off. Nice. Boom. Least amount of damage, but that's fine. And again, it looks like they've really ramped up the amount of loot you get in the game, which I'm not complaining about. Nice. On top of that, our warrior leveled up. He gained more points in constitution. He's going to be a tank, so we're going to grab that. And then, we could make him into a bit of a damage-dealing tank. Execution and Berserk give him strength. But we're going to make him into a sentinel, I think. He can give riposte to all allies for 2 valor, which is basically they get a free attack whenever they're attacked. That's pretty useful. And I like warriors as tanks. They can still do a decent amount of damage with their weapons, but they're tanky enough to come in. So actually, still taking something like Executioner is not a bad idea, or even Berserk. It is pretty useful, honestly. But that's good. Okay, so we could repair here. However, I'm going to not, because we're heading back to camp now. sorry, we're heading back to base camp, to the village, and we can repair there for cheaper. And I don't expect to get into any more battles, so we're just going to head back there now. However, we're not going to probably make it, and we want to camp relatively quickly, because if we don't and the more of this fatigue bar runs up, we might be attacked on the road or something, and that would be really bad. Is there anything else we can do? So first things first, we of course want to have the food. I'm also going to add the brandy, I think, for extra happiness. We have plenty of wood, so we might as well do that. Does it increase it the more we go? No. Yeah, so we're just going to get a little bit of charcoal on the fire because this is useful resources for when we craft. We don't have to pay people yet, which is amazing. And this extra happiness will be super good because there are different happiness levels. And when you get to higher happiness levels, you get better stuff. So as you can see, we gained some good bonuses right there. We gained some raw materials because our tinkerer is right here. I don't think we... Can we build anything yet? Oh, we could have built a cooking pot and a camp chest. We should have done both of these before we did it. We're going to grab the cooking pot for sure, and we can customize this and put this down. We also gain another knowledge point, which is nice. Can we also do a... no, we can't do a chest. Okay, we need a little bit more wood for that. That's fine. But yeah, let's put down a cooking pot. You can also customize wherever you put this as well, and you can also assign a cook. We don't really have a cook right now, and we don't want to obviously get rid of him being a good thing. So... For example, if we were to make maybe our swordsman into a cook, it also gives constitution and strength, I believe. And then we can actually cook stuff. So we don't have any wheat, but if we did, we could make bread. And you can actually, if we go over here, unlock recipes. So we can unlock, what do we have? Was it mutton? Yeah, we have mutton. So if we go, yeah, medium rare mutton, we learn this, we go back here, and we could actually then produce raw mutton, which is actually more food. So this normal mutton is 4, whereas if we do this and we combine it with the salt we stole, it goes to 6. So you can start to see how you can start efficiently managing your food quite nicely. And oh my god, look at the map. There is a thick fog set across here. Something I touched on but didn't really talk massively on as well is there are loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff to do outside of just simply doing missions and collecting cash and, you know, leveling up your professions. There's like a whole hunting arc, I guess, where you can meet beastmasters and trade them, go on hunts for them specifically to hunt like dangerous animals, can collect stuff to then trade in to get unique items. There's a whole custom like tomb exploration system in the game where you can explore tombs of each regions. There's, I don't want to spoil it, but there's also like slight bits of fantasy in the game. This is a medieval grounded game, but there are still bits of like light fantasy in there with like the plague system. There's like a plague going around which you'll explore more about, and you'll run into some weird rat things. I'll say that you have to deal with, and that's unique missions. So there's plenty to do. Speaking of which though, we have to come collect our money. So that's a decent amount of cash, which is very nice. We can then come here and choose if we want to pick anything else up. Ideally, we'd want to look for maybe some missions that were close to the storyline mission we had in the south, which it doesn't look like there is. We can, however, try and maybe pick up another companion. I was ideally looking for maybe another tank, like a brute. But we could maybe take a swordsman companion. Why not? Let's grab this guy. We're going to recruit him pretty cheap, honestly. And we can even get rid of him later on if we wanted to. We'd then, of course, go to the forge and we'd speak to the blacksmith. And by speaking to him, we could then get him to repair our goods for 20 gold. I think right now, to repair everybody's gear, it costs like 5 of these. So we're saving 5 gold by doing it at home, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up quickly. And yeah, there you go. That is going to be a first little glimpse at the brand new released Wartales, just coming out of early access after just over 2 years in early access. The game has like 90% positive rating on Steam. I highly recommend you check it out, especially if you have some friends. Playing this in multiplayer and co-op is absolutely amazing. Highly recommend it. And the game just has so much to offer, so definitely go check it out. Obviously using the link down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.